Hi guys, John here again. I would like to talk today about recovering from narcissistic abuse. Um, some people take a very, very long time. Some people never really get over narcissistic abuse. And it's more on the long-term abuse cases. A person that has spent a couple decades or more being abused by a narcissist, they will usually have PTSD more so, and they will suffer a lot longer term of overcoming the abuse. There's so many of us that we've spent our lives being abused. The way we were raised to be unacceptable people, people that aren't recognized. We weren't loved. We weren't cared about. So this is common with us, and this is the type of person that the narcissist picks out. They look for a person that they can fully dominate, and they can brainwash. Now, first of all, we who have been damaged by narcissists, we were brainwashed as children to think that we aren't appreciated, we aren't loved, we're worthless. So this brainwashing that we have learned in the first 6 to 7 years of our upbringing, this characteristic of being susceptible to brainwashing like this has stayed with us. So when we're adults, the narcissist can pick us out and they can see us from a mile away. So when they do pick us out, the fact that we have been brainwashed as children and we've grown up with this mindset, the narcissist basically just plugs in again to where we left off from the abuse from our childhood. And the narcissist basically is just continuing the abuse. This is how narcissists can gaslight so well a person that has been controlled and dominated and told they were worthless, they were no good for nothing, and they will never amount to anything. Now the narcissist picks somebody who's already pre-programmed with brainwashing as little kids, and when we grow up, this is pretty well our set personality. We were abused as children. We were told we were worthless, no good. So when we do grow up, we have this foundation of our set thinking for the rest of our lives, until or unless we actually become aware of it and we take the time to reprogram our thinking so that this negative brainwashing isn't controlling us. So the narcissist just takes over from where the parent left off, and the gaslighting they do is there's something wrong with you, you need psychiatric help, you aren't a good-looking person, nobody wants anything to do with you, and you're so lucky to have a person like me. Now, no one can understand what we've gone through except other victims of narcissists. We can't just tell people, friends or anybody, what we've been through and what narcissism is about. We are told a lot of times by people, usually people that are close to us, that we would think would be caring for us, acceptable of what we have gone through. But in a lot of cases, when we do mention what we have gone through with a narcissist, with the abuse, oftentimes this person will say, well, just get over it. They don't understand, and that just makes the hurt even worse. And they're actually being an accomplice of the narcissist. They aren't doing this deliberately, but they're still in the dark. They don't understand that that there are people out there that have a control over us because we were brought up to be controlled, and this is our mindset. Now, PTSD is quite common, very common in people that have gotten out of an abusive situation, and there's triggers that set you off. I know I've experienced, and I experience post-traumatic stress disorder. It's more like complex post-traumatic stress disorder because it isn't just one incident. If it was just one instance where, say I was molested as a child one time, that would be post-traumatic stress disorder. But when there's multiple instances of abuse over time, this is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I'll feel like I really don't have the PTSD a lot of times until something triggers it. We all have triggers. One thing that will trigger me is someone raising their voice to me, because there's narcissists all over the place, and especially in places of dominance, control. If they're doctors, lawyers, people in executive positions, people who are working in government offices, for example, and these people do have a tendency of feeling better about themselves than they actually are. And there are a lot of narcissists also. So when these people will raise their voice to me, that triggers the PTSD again. And there I'm all messed up again in my head. The feeling of unreality, everything is weird again. And the others of you out there who have experienced this know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this is the main trigger I can think of. There would be minor ones that I wouldn't really be able to just put my finger on, but we all have triggers. The triggers are the trauma that we have been through, and we never really get through it until we've come to the reality that we have been abused, we are codependent, we go out of our way to try to please somebody, and these people that abuse us in later life, saying that, well, I'll take advantage of this person, and we've been taken advantage of. They are using us because they are insecure people themselves. If they aren't narcissistic, they are just basically insecure, and the feeling they get if they can dominate and control somebody, they have a feeling of power, which is just a bunch of baloney, because they're insecure, they don't have power at all. And it's just like a narcissist who portrays this fictitious thing of being dominant, superior. The reason they do this is because they're insecure, they are inferior, and it's just basically the opposite. And we all have triggers, and it'd be interesting to hear what the rest of you have for triggers that triggers the PTSD, which is related to the abuse that we have gone through. And that's it for now. And I'll talk to you guys later. I thank you for subscribing. Like and share. And I'll speak to you on the next video. And I thank you guys for listening. Bye for now.